right, y'all. We back again. Alshay, Whitney, and Alshay. His, hers TV. How y'all feeling?
I'm feeling good. How you feeling, babe?
I'm good. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss.
So we have a guest in the building who decided to come on our regular hours. You know.
And she's drinking. This is our first drinking. Guest.
Yay! Let's cheers to that.
They on second glasses and whatnot. I was trying to get this right for y'all.
Baby's a perfectionist.
I'm so happy to be here.
Tell us about yourself. What you got going on?
Well, I just started blogging.
Okay.
I'm excited about that. And of course, I'm still in mental health, working for acute care. And, just going with the everyday hustle, living in 2 states.
What 2 states is that?
Right.
Cross the lines.
Georgia.
Cross the state lines. Every time I look.
Tennessee,
home.
Georgia.
Which home? But I think you should tell them your name and your social media because it might have some potential suitors out there.
Okay. My name is Olivia. My social media, my Instagram is topnotch01.
So that means you gotta be on your A game.
Top notch.
She top notch.
Top notch.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
What else we got? Is that all your social media?
That's all I have. Yep.
Okay. So, what are we talking about tonight?
Well, tonight, Olivia, let me give y'all a little history about us. So me and Olivia met at a hospital I used to work at. And I think we knew each other before I had my baby, but when I started working in the same department as her, like we became like super close and pretty much like renegades. Because
Renegade.
we just didn't, we cared, but it was like we wasn't gonna put up with anything.
Right.
Just, I'm gonna put it that way.
Y'all were those black women with attitude.
Yes. And Whitney is very protective of her energy, as you may know. So she wasn't very welcoming initially.
I see that. I see that.
I didn't do you like that. I didn't do that.
Yes.
No, she didn't do me like that.
I'll be having
But
to
it
tell
took
babe.
some time.
I'll be able to tell babe, hey, you give off this energy, just like, don't mess with me, don't look at me wrong, don't.
Oh yeah.
Don't come at me polite.
She got to make
That's
sure.
how she do that too. Don't even come at me polite.
No,
you too
but
nice.
I have to.
You too
I
nice.
observe first, and then I said, okay, I'm gonna allow you to be in my space.
Yeah.
Because everybody is not deserving of your space.
You're right. I could tell she wanted to hang around with the kid, but initially, it just took a little
I just had to figure it out. But I didn't treat her like I've treated other people.
Nah, I've seen her.
And she was very, because I literally had took off time from work to be on maternity leave. That was like 5-6 months I ain't worked.
And what job was this?
At a hospital.
At a hospital.
Name it. But it was a mental health hospital. And so I remember seeing her in the hall, and then I was like, listen, help me. Like, this is brand, like, this part of it is new, plus I haven't been practicing, so just get me. She was like, I got you. And I was like, okay. Because it was some special energy at that job.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
So,
we got through it, though.
We did. And then we both kind of made our exit around the same time.
We did.
Because, either I was going to make an exit or I was going to make an entrance into one of the units, and I didn't want to stay there. So let's try to go. But anyway, so that's our history. That's how we met. And tonight, first of all, me and Olivia joke a lot.
Yes,
and so
I'm a fool.
She knows about my past situation. And she was there kind of like, she saw like me do the emotional stages of it. So what she says now, what she always points out, and I appreciate, is you just seem really happy. So she was talking like, what happened? What did you do? What was different? And so I told her, as I said before on this podcast, I had a prayer with a specific list, and I had my fast for 21 days. So she wanted to talk about that. How did we get here? So she wanted to talk about dating in Atlanta, or just dating period, managing relationships, and then she said she had questions for us, so she's gonna flip the script.
Yes, I have several questions. We're gonna do things a little different here on His and Hers tonight.
It's gonna be
I'm
mine.
ready. I'm saying I ain't scared.
I'm a little
Let
nervous.
go.
Okay.
Let go.
All right, so
Let's go.
Would you like to start with our questions first, or you want us to just talk about our story? What do you want to do?
Well, I have a little list here.
Oh no!
My handy dandy.
She got a list.
Oh, you are
She got
prepared.
But she got a whole smartphone.
Woo,
She wrote it
no.
on paper. She got a
That's a
smartphone, but she
therapist
wrote it on
for you.
paper.
That's a whole
I
therapy.
like to document on paper.
Okay.
I like to double document.
Baby, you
It's in my
ready?
phone as
I'm
well.
ready.
Oh wow.
Well, okay. So I know you guys have shared this story
Mhm.
several times.
Mhm.
Of course, like you said.
But we haven't shared it on the YouTube.
Right.
Okay.
Shared
Okay.
it
Good.
on
Good.
YouTube.
So, how did you guys meet?
My homeboy, his fiance at the time. I was actually doing Uber that day. I was doing Uber, and she called me. She said, "Hey, Sav." No, she texted me. She said, "Hey, Sav, when you get a minute, give me your call." I'm saying, so it's out the blue. I'm like, something got to be wrong, because she don't just like hit me up like that. So cool, boom, dropped off my ride. I hit her up. What's up? Yeah, I got this friend who
These voices of people.
looking for somebody to talk to, and I thought y'all was a good match. You know, I think y'all would be good together. I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? What she look like? You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, you gonna give me that alley-oop, I'm gonna catch it and a boom. Give it a D. That's what it was from jump. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, that's cool. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm thinking in my head, I know she went to my homeboy and was like, what you think I should do? And he was like,
he always change his voice for women.
Yeah.
so,
He want to take me there. Take me to
so,
the
in a
scene.
moment.
yeah, I'm saying that's how it happened.
He a
So,
straight character right now.
so I was like, it's cool. I mean, I got it. She sent me her Instagram. I think she gave you my Instagram first.
She just showed me pictures.
Yeah, because I remember her saying, I'm gonna give her yours first. I'm gonna give her yours first and all that. And then, so she did it. And then I hit her up in a DM. They said, I was like, okay, she look cutie.
Okay,
I
so
hit
it's
her
a
up.
DM love story.
But so let me tell you, when she told me that she gave him, this is where the story gets a little fuzzy.
Okay.
When she told me that she gave him my information, it was like days before. So she never, I told her I didn't want his because I wasn't hitting him up first. I was like, I'm not hitting him. I really had just come off that 21 days. I was like, I'm not hitting him up first. So she showed me pictures. I was like, he cute. Yeah, thinking myself, he was mean. But he was cute. I was like, okay. And
Sexual.
yummy. So she, it was like 2 or 3 days. I was like, this nigga ain't hit me up. Oh, okay. So I kind of was like, whatever, because I had already had my prayer. Like, if they ain't pursuing me, I'm not messing with them. So then he hit me like right before I was getting ready to go to group. And I was like, that's cool, girl. I was like, oh my God, he hit me up. I was like, should I hit you up now or after group? They can wait.
We always do that. We gotta think
She hit
about
me up
it.
ASAP. She was like,
Should I wait 15 minutes before I take
right. I'm talking to my other, because me and her did co-facilitate the group. She was like, girl, just hit him up. Like, we are grown. I said, you right. So I hit him up. I was like, hey, I'm about to go into work. But we like was texting the whole, I don't think we've not communicated since that day.
all right, we have it.
That's when you know you have a real connection. When you can talk to someone all day long,
All day.
all night. Do y'all still have that?
Yeah.
You
We
sit
do.
in bed at night and talk and
Yeah, we have some crazy conversations at times. But a lot of times, like we so business minded now. And that's what kept us together at the same time. You know, in the beginning, we just had some of the same interests. You know, we wanted to do the podcast. You know, we were talking about YouTube, and she was writing the magazine at the time. Mind you, we were together a year before we even started our stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, yo, you write for magazines? That's what's up, yo. Like, do that. You know what I'm saying? I was just like happy, said, yeah, man, it's my girl stuff. You know what I'm saying? She write for a magazine. Like, boom. You know what I'm saying? Supporting her. I like that. She had her blog. I'm like, yo, start writing. Like, when I actually, like, because she had sent me her blog, and she was like, she didn't think I was going to read it. You know what I'm saying? And I read it. I was like, yo, like, and I don't even like to read. I'm saying, I hate that stereotype because I'm black and I'm me saying I don't like to read, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? Then I read it, I was like, yo, like, you can really write. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
I can feel your emotion in what you're writing at this moment. So it was like, all right, cool. So I would just encourage her on doing that. She was writing in the magazine. I don't know what I was doing at the time. I was just working. But I had talent. I was doing Uber. I had talent. She said, you should do this, you should do that. We started talking about the podcast, the YouTube, and yeah, we should do that. It was just a bunch of ideas that we were sharing, that just kept conversations going because we shared these common interests. And then, it just started kicking off a year later. She had a little run-in with her cameraman. I said, like, she asked me, like, a lot of people, and this is past relationships, they say, what do you do? It's easier saying what I don't do. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe, like if me and you together and you want me to do something, I'm going to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So, where her was like, I don't think she asked me what I do. She said, I ain't got a cameraman. I said, well, I can record it with my phone. You know what I'm saying? And I started doing that. What was the first one that we did? The first one that we did, it was the David Banner. David Banner John for this TV show that they had.
They did this about police brutality.
Right. That happened, and it was history from there as far as that started. Because
I believe, like, and something I've said to him, because it kind of gets us through like rough times, is I'm always like, babe, it's us versus everything else. So everything and everybody is us against them. It's never anybody who can infiltrate what we got. So I feel like you're only as strong as your weakest link. We don't have any weak links because we complement each other.
Right.
So that's what I want. I wanted him to be the complement, and it worked like that.
Right. Like I'm good at what she's not, and she's great at what I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we can't have this without each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I mean?
I'm still here, guys. Without a man, just.
But speaking of that, you want to ask your questions first, and then we come back at you.
You can ask me questions because I have so much.
Clearly.
Let me.
So what I wanted to ask you, because we are friends, and I've been there. We've been there for each other through relationships. What is it like? Because I've gotten asked this question before, so I kind of want to see if it's the same. But what is it like dating in a metropolitan city like Atlanta?
Oh my goodness.
Can I answer?
Well, sure. Well, Atlanta is a BYOB state. That means bring your own boo.
Oh.
But yeah, I've had some interesting situations occur while living in Atlanta, but I've also had some great dating experiences. I was in a relationship last year, so and that was cool for the most part. It was okay, and we did. You were booked. We talked about it. Yeah, but yeah, that was really good. It was a good relationship until it wasn't, But and I don't have anything bad to say about that young man. He's cool.
Okay.
He was a young man. He wasn't.
That must be a Memphis thing.
Yeah,
when they say that.
No, I'm from Memphis, so it's a young lingo. You'll hear me say things throughout the podcast, and you'll have to ask questions like, "What does that mean?"
Because this girl who I know who moved to Memphis, she came back here talking about, I'm with my guy friend. I didn't know if I should be like, hey to her boo,
she
or
had to call me
your friend. I'm like, how do I respond to this? Because I ain't trying to blow up the spot.
I mean, if you ask me, you say it's a guy friend, like it's not your boyfriend. It's probably just a guy that
she don't know what to call it yet. They probably having sex.
Busting down, busting. But
they go on dates every once in a while.
Situationships, you know what I'm saying? Like this is my current situation right here. You know what I'm saying?
She can't call him her man yet because he hasn't.
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, Atlanta is interesting when it comes to dating. I hear a lot of bad stories. And moving here, people told me, like, girl, don't move there, all those gay men there, and blah, blah, blah. So I was really nervous about being here as a single woman. Because where I'm from, it wasn't difficult. In Tennessee, it wasn't difficult dating. You always can find someone and whatever you want to have.
Now I must say, as a Georgia Peach, since I have matured, I have not dated anybody from this state.
Really?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now that's something that I hear often. Like, don't date anyone from here. But I mean, there are people that are from here that are intentional with dating and getting married. You just have to find that person. I mean, the ratio is 45 women to 1 man. And I may be a little off with that, but
that's what it feels like.
That's what it feels like. And
that's crazy because it doesn't feel like that for us. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, it's not the chick, I guess it comes to quality. You know what I'm saying? Like the quality of chick, like it's a lot of busted joints. I'm like, ooh, this.
And there's a lot of men that come here that they get overwhelmed. And they want to date several women at one time. You have men that are married and don't like to wear their wedding ring and don't like to tell people that they're married and still date women. It's just a lot of deception. But I mean,
I want you to answer it so she can get her questions out.
What was the question?
You said you wanted to talk about dating.
Yeah.
Before me.
I mean, the only reason why I want to answer because I'm not from Atlanta. I moved here in 07. My first year here was just crazy. Trying to become a resident of the state and looking for a job because 07 it was the recession. You know what I'm saying? So it was my first year was just rough. I was a MySpace guy right there. Like, yo, where you at? You close to me? I ain't had no car, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, I was MySpacing it up, calling anybody who was within my vicinity. The neighborhoods was different. I'm not used to it. I'm used to square blocks. They don't have square blocks here. You know what I'm saying? They got like loop-de-loops and it's just not what, what I'm saying, a city boy would, imagine. It just wasn't normal for me. But when I did start getting out, it was fairly easy. I was hanging out on the west side, Atlanta. I was over there. And I was just getting nostalgia from my city, It was the, I guess, rougher part of town, the west side, Allen Temple and all that stuff.
No comment.
Yeah, you used to, I don't know if you ain't on the west side, but you was on the east side.
I was.
This was her hood. I moved to her hood. I had to go to another hood to get some nostalgia. But so it was a little easy, I had my homies, we go out to the club, holler at chicks, like boom. But at the same time, none of those chicks were from Atlanta. None of those. This is the only Georgia Peach that I spoke to since I was here. The only one. I was like, because for a minute, like, it was to the point where I was like, I've never messed with an Atlanta chick. Like, it's not too many original Atlanteans in Atlanta. That's what's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're in Atlanta, but everybody you talk to is from somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Whitney, I've known you for a few years now.
Okay.
What would you say was most important for you going into a new relationship?
At the time, the most important thing was his acceptance of me and Taylor. Okay. Because there were people who say, I understand, I accept that you have a kid, but then their actions was like, you really texted me at 1 a.m. Like, I'm about to, no, you can't come here because my baby is like, it was like, not to just say, okay, if she has a kid, but do you accept that life? Because our dates had to be planned and unconventional. So we did things during the day when she was still at school sometimes. Getting a sitter is a whole ordeal, or you had to be okay with like, hey, we might go to the kids museum and you can hang out with us. But, I needed that to happen, but I needed to feel comfortable with. I needed to know like what they were doing because I didn't want to bring somebody around that wasn't gonna be around. Because I didn't want Tatum has one uncle, so I didn't want her to be introduced to other uncles.
Right.
So I was just, that was very important to me because like that's my world. And he was very understanding of that. And he proved that with like just if I say, hey, I need to come over after work, maybe see you for 30 minutes, he was okay with it.
Okay.
And it was just like he respected the fact that I gotta be a mama, or if I say I gotta get off the phone because I need to do this, he was cool with it. It wasn't oh, you always do it for your baby, you can't get like. And I experienced that, so that's why I had a drought because I was like, I ain't giving up the no. If you can't even respect me being a mom,
right? Do you think he was more understanding because he has a child also?
What do you think?
I was. It was to a point to where as though, when I was going through my situation, being divorced and having a son, I knew the responsibilities, you know what I'm saying? Because I was having my son a lot at the time. And I was on the dating apps, talking to the chicks. Like I told her, I was like, yo, when I got a divorce, I was trying to be a hoe. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to go out there and smash everything, like bust it down. I get a minute. Oh yeah, what's up? What's your name? Come through, bust it down. And that got old. I'm saying after a while, I was like, all right, it's old now. So then it became like, let me see if these chicks got some substance. And it was like, okay, I found a little substance in chicks. And then it was like, I don't want to deal with a chick that ain't got no child. I'm like if you don't have a child, you can't understand the things that I'm going through. Like I have a son. You know what I'm saying? He's 2 years old. You understand? I gotta have a schedule. You know what I'm saying? I gotta put him down at a certain time. Diaper changes, playtime. Like things happen. I'm not going out like at this point. He's finally sleeping through the night. So if you can't come through on the night and understand that I'm just not trying to smash because I'm saying come through at nighttime,
right?
Like we don't need to talk. Like if you just thinking that I'm trying to smash and that means you must think you a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Like you must think you a hoe. If I'm being real with you, like yeah, man, I got a 2-year-old. You know what I'm saying? He's going down at this time. I done had him all day. Like on the rep, I'm tired. I just want to chill. I don't want to go out. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm enjoying some quiet time. And then I was older when I had my child, so I've done the club scene. I done been in those loud environments. So that just wasn't a part of me anymore.
Right.
So I'm like, if you like 21, 22, 23, 24, I was like, man, I don't. At a certain point, it was like, okay, if you got a child and you're this age, I can give you an opportunity. But if you're this age without a child, I'm not even gonna talk to you. Saying that's how I felt about it.
Because you didn't feel like that person would be understanding
of
your responsibility.
Right.
Okay, let me ask you something. And I ask this because I have single friends who their answer has changed later on in the dating scene. Would you date someone with a
child? Yes. I would like for them to only have one. But
what's the difference between 1 and 2?
Because
if it's the same person that they had a child with.
Because I don't have any. And it's difficult for me to accept more than one. I mean, I'll be willing to, but I mean, it's hard enough to accept one when you don't have any children. But because I'm older and
I've always
in that
wanted
great
to accept
age group now that I have to kind of accept men.
You've
with
always
children.
wanted what?
I've always accepted women with children. Like I've never, like before I had them, I was like children wasn't a turn on.
It wasn't for me either until I dated people with children and had bad experiences.
What were the experiences?
It was the mother. Like the mother would still try to use the child as bait, and
right.
I just didn't want to go through that drama. That's
right.
it. I don't mind you having a child. It's just the relationship with the mother has to cease.
Right. And that usually happens more so with fathers that want to do for their child.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's a lot of deadbeats out there that don't have no issue out of the baby mom.
Right.
Not on child support, not on nothing. It's just, yeah, I got 4 kids out here. I got 4 kids out here, but I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't on no child support. I ain't nothing. I get my kid when I want to get him. You know what I'm saying?
But I also think that you can't just always put it on them, because I think that sometimes women get territorial after they find out about somebody else.
Absolutely.
Because they might not even want to deal with that person until they find out about somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And that was something I said I never wanted to act like a baby mama.
Mm-hmm.
So even when, first of all, his involvement was lackluster, but even when he started to date, I didn't care. Like, I'm done. I'm over it.
I remember that.
So I was just like, congratulations. Mm-hmm. You have moved on.
Right.
And sometimes people want you to care.
They do.
Right. Yeah.
They want you to care,
That's
but once you
That's
reach
fact.
that level of maturity,
Right.
it's like, look, do whatever you want to do. Just
You
stay
are
out of
not
my
even
life.
vibrating in my
You're somebody
way.
else's issue.
Absolutely. Yes.
Like,
Yes.
Blessing
right.
to you all.
Right.
Ah, here comes the list.
Is this question 1 or 2? Like, I
We've
thought that
already
was
gone
1.
over question 1.
Okay, I figured we went over 1.
We're on 2.
Number 2.
Okay.
We just did a list last week. You know what I'm saying? Number 2.
I would like to know your individual thoughts on submissiveness.
You first?
I think she needs some time.
Should I submit to you, Daddy? Right now, and let you answer first?
I believe that there should be a level of submissiveness, with that being the term that was given. Like, babe, like, she's super old fashioned. Like, when you're genuine in what you do, you're not submissive. That's just you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's a role for a woman, there's a role for a man. And times are changing, so roles are changing, but there's a few old-fashioned people still in the world. And Babe is one of them. You know, like, she's like, you know, I'm going to make your plate, you know, I'm going to wash your clothes, I'm going to iron your shirt here, put this on, do you need anything else? You know what I'm saying? Like she's into the church, and I hate to bring the church into it, but, like, she is what pastors really preach about, what they say, you know, your wife is supposed to be a servant. That's what she does, like, genuinely. There's not a lot of women that want to be a servant, because they think that, you know, they were probably raised by a mom that was raised by a deadbeat dad or a no dad, and raised her like, you don't need a man. You know, now you grew up with that I don't need a man mentality, and, you know, you just start sabotaging yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of people look at submissiveness as a weakness, and it's not really a weakness. It's just a, how can I say it? It's a structure that was already planted. You know what I'm saying? It was a foundation that was already there. You know what I'm saying? From the beginning of time, and you can see that, like, before women had the right to do this and had the right to do that, that's what they did. They cooked, they cleaned, they ironed, they were submissive to their husbands, with lack of better term, because that was the term that was used, and I'm gonna do this. But Babe, I'm saying, like, she 100% in everything that she do. She go to work, she do this, she take it. My babe's so submissive, I be like, yo, chill out, let me help you freak out, you know? Yeah. Let me do some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna just sit here and let you do, and I see that there's some things that I can do to help you out. Right. I appreciate the submissiveness that she gives me, but I want to give her what she gives me. So I think that's what makes the difference. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. One thing I want to say is, I think that in order for a strong, intelligent woman to submit, she has to feel safe,
absolutely,
in the leadership.
Yes.
Because aside from the things that I do, because that's who I am, I also submit as far as when we talk about finances or when we're talking about child rearing or things like that, we both came in this as two individuals.
Right.
And
with children.
With children. Mm-hmm. So that was something I had to talk to him about. Like, we got to talk about how we're going to raise children because we were very different in that. Mm-hmm. But I felt safe in allowing him to lead me. I didn't feel like he would lead me astray. So it comes natural for me to do these things. Whereas in past relationships, it was natural for me to want to do those things, but I didn't do these things because I felt like you're not doing anything anyway. Like, it's, for me, I feel like it's a good give and take. Even in me wanting to just do. The story I always refer back to is I always took my trash out before because it was just me.
Right.
And so for I had to even submit to him taking my trash out in my house because it was just me and I was used to just me. And so it was like, routine. You do. And so I had to learn to be comfortable in the fact that somebody had my back and somebody was going to protect me and provide for me. So yeah, I take care of the house and take care of the kids and, you know, I go to work, but there's never a time that I didn't feel like he didn't protect me or that when it comes down to it, he's going to provide for me. Like, I don't ever feel like that. I mean, even just the fact that he fills my tank emotionally. Like, I've talked to him about some things that I will never share with anybody outside of the lines of my journal. But he knows them, and I don't feel like he judges me for those things.
And that's hard to find.
It's very hard because I don't need what we pillow talk about to be the topic of your water can conversation. No, I don't. Exactly. So submission to me is, you know, being comfortable in that because, you know, everybody doesn't deserve that. Everybody is not going to get that part of me.
Right.
So I'm okay. And for a long time, I was like, I'm not going to be able to do that because I was not meeting anybody I felt comfortable enough to do that. I was in relationships with people, but that don't mean I felt comfortable.
Exactly. So I have been there before in relationships, but didn't feel safe, didn't feel comfortable. So,
number 3.
Skip around a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. So, Whitney, I feel like I know these things about you. Well, what are some deal breakers, non-negotiables?
Can I answer?
Sure. I'm trying to.
Like, that's a tough question because no one stays the same. You know, it's always change. It's always something new. You know, you can't expect the person that you met in 2007 to be the same person in 2017. So when you say what's a deal breaker, like it may have been a deal breaker then, but now you're all open for it.
That's true.
You know, so I think that's what ruined relationships because they have these expectations like I'm not going for this and I'm not going for this, and if they're still trying to say I'm not going for this in 07 and in 17, they're not growing. You know what I'm saying? They're literally the same person. Like, people say, like, a lot of arguments in relationships that happen at the end of the relationship is, I'm the same person you met. That's the problem. You're the same person I met. You didn't grow with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't learn with me. You know what I'm saying? So I've outgrown that person that I met in 2007 because you were such and such age in 2007. Now we're in 2017 and you're still acting like that same age. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's something.
And not to be like super mushy, but when we express love for each other, I expressed to him that I want you to love me unconditionally.
Yes.
And I said that's the same thing I want to give to you. Now I'm not saying
that's easier said than done.
Absolutely.
Because when you think about what it means, go ahead.
Like, things come up, and it's like this could very well be a condition. But my thing is, what was your heart when you did this? Like, were you intentionally trying to hurt me, or did something happen? And did is this something that we can both learn and grow from? Or are you not going to change and this is who you are to your core? I can't be with someone who doesn't really want forgiveness, because it's like, this is what it is. That probably, I don't even know if that's a deal breaker, but that, I guess I can't say it is because I don't feel like that's him. Because we have fun and we do these podcasts, but we have things that come up and it gets rough. But when I think about it unconditionally, like, we are able to converse about anything. So this
good,
is
bad, and ugly.
Effective communication.
Indifferent. Yeah.
Nothing like it.
This is my friend first.
Yeah.
So we are able to talk. I was, but let me get it together because I'm a G. Don't you?
Never seen this before. One time.
Right. Let me.
Know that last time. I was like, what do I say?
But I just had to think about it because you don't find people who fight through relationships. Will Smith put out this statement, and somebody read about it. I actually read that today on the way home. But he said there's absolutely nothing Jada could do that make me want to leave her. Ooh. Because this is my life partner, and we are going to do life together.
That's the thing. It's like, once you decide to do life with somebody, you want them to be loyal to you, provide safety, protection, honesty. You want to be able to effectively communicate with that person.
I've realized, being with Whitney, like, when you're willing to lose the person that you love by telling the truth, that's the person that you're supposed to be with. Because it's easy to tell a lie just to spare the feelings. But if you don't want that person to look foolish,
right?
You know what I'm saying? You be like, yo, I'm gonna tell them the truth and let them make that decision for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And we've given each other hard truths. You're saying hard truths, like, how do you feel about it? Blah 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 blah. And we choose together. We talk about it. We don't just say what we're gonna do or keep secrets. Like, there's no secrets between us. None. You know what I'm saying? And that's the first time that I've ever been there. So when people say, like your earlier question, what was different in your relationships? I chose to be true to myself. And in being true to me, allowed me to give her 100% of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, knowing exactly what I want. Yeah, this is what I want. Can you deal with it? This is what I like to do. Can you deal with it? I don't want to do this. Can you deal with it? From jump, she did the same thing. Okay, I know what I'm getting into. Like, we didn't give each other the representative that most people get when they get into relationships. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have time. Like, we got kids. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I ain't got time for the game.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to do this, we're going to do this.
Just out the way.
Right. So, you know, like, this is me, you know, I don't do this and I don't do this, and I doubt that I'm going to be consistent with it. Can you accept that? Yes or no?
I had to toughen up. So I'm gonna shed thug tea.
Ooh, for a second. Go to the back.
Let me step out of
Go behind the curtain. Go behind the curtain.
So let me ask you something. Being that, you know, you've experienced some bad relationships. I don't really know anybody who hasn't experienced a bad one. How are you about keeping that compartmentalized for something new? Because the disclaimer is, I hear a lot of women, friends who come to me, and they're taking the history of their past and then dictating their future with someone else. And I don't think that that's fair. And I can say that now because I'm not there anymore. But that would be me. Because my analogy would always be, well, if I broke my leg jumping off the porch, when I start getting to the edge of the porch, I'm going to remember I broke my leg. So I will always compare current to past, and that wasn't fair.
I still struggle with that today. I mean, past relationships, when you go through things, as soon as someone reminds you of that past hurt, you're like, oh yeah, I figured it out. this is what he's doing to me. He's hurting me. He's going to do this. He's going to cheat. And I was struggling with that for a long time. Like even in dating, I would have trust issues with people lying to me, or because once you meet someone wicked, once someone wicked comes into your life, it changes your whole perception, your whole perspective. Everything just changes, especially once you get cheated on, because you feel like, I thought everything was okay. Mm-hmm. And now it's like, I don't trust his happy. And you start dealing with all these insecurities. And now everything that new person does, when they show little small signs, you're starting to think like, oh, well, maybe he's not really happy with me. Or, you know, you just go through these different insecurities. That's why I feel like everyone should heal and go through their own struggles before getting into a new relationship. Because healing is an ongoing process. Even while you're in a relationship, I'm sure you two go through different things individually that you have to, like, you need to heal from. And like you said, you feel safe because you can talk to him about things. He feels safe because he can talk to you. And everyone doesn't get that luxury, you know? So it takes time. I'm still working on it. But, you know, it's a work in progress.
That's a self-awareness thing. Mm-hmm. You know, like, you have to be self-aware of yourself. And that goes along to what I said. Like, once you can accept yourself, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard to accept yourself when delivering it to other people. You know what I'm saying? That's where a lot of people fail, because they're afraid to be themselves.
You are so
right. When you're afraid to be yourself, you're never going to get that true opposite of you. Because the only reason why people know the opposite of black is white, because black is true to itself.
Right, absolutely.
It has no other color in it. It's black and it's black all day. White is white all day. You know what I'm saying? So
I think we have time for maybe two more, maybe a question from you, then a question from us to close out.
Oh, time is up. I have 7 more questions.
I mean, I was willing to go through all.
I didn't know the video. You know.
I mean, we can go.
Okay, well, I'm with it.
Well, we might have to cut it in part 2. Yeah, we got to cut it in part 2. You know?
I got things to ask.
The wine is just kicking in.
Lady, you know.
I'm on. I don't know how many y'all see me pour so far, but
I'm good then.
Let's see.
I'm submitting. What you say, babe?
Okay.
Whatever you want to
keep it going.
You said we here. Let's go.
Right now.
Let's go.
Okay. This is a really good question, because this one is always busy. You remember one day I called you guys and I was like, hey, I didn't even get a chance to tell her what I called for. She was like, girl, I'm about to go and paint the room. And you're like, I just want to have a regular Saturday. I just thought we were going to chill today. But Whitney is always busy. She's always on the go. I cannot see her just sitting down watching a movie.
Right.
But I do. Don't I?
I'm going to let you finish the question before I answer.
Okay.
I'm going to let you finish the question before I answer.
So, okay. Is that like the standard in your relationships, to have someone that's super busy? Is that something that you've experienced before? And if so, how do you feel about it?
That's a good question, because in my last relationships, I didn't do enough. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it was a battle with me, like, do I do enough? Do I not do anything? You know, so I was just following that balance. And after a year and some change, you know, still dealing with Whit, you know, we have times when we don't do anything. You know what I'm saying? But I had to learn that, because, like I said, I was dealing with the past me of not doing anything, you know, and being so-called boring and stuff like that. So, like, I don't want to be boring. This is what you're into. I'm going to be into it with you.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give you what you give me. But then it gets to a point like, yo, we got to sit down. Like, I'm not built for this. I need some chill. I need to not go anywhere. I need to be in these 4 walls. I need to walk around in my drawers. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do anything. And we've had that, and there's been times she went out by herself, and I'm like, all right.
Just let her do her thing.
Yeah. even with going to the playground with the kids, well, go ahead, take her. You got it. But I get on her too still, like, yo, chill out. You know what I'm saying? Like, she hurt herself. And I'm like, you know why? Because you're tired.
Yeah.
You don't want to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Right? Right or wrong?
Yes.
So, you know, like, sit down. Sit down. You don't have to. And I believe that a lot of what she was doing was to appease other people. Because she's a people pleaser. You know what I'm saying?
To a certain extent, it has to be
To
people.
a very big,
People you care about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not going to be
It don't,
everybody.
but when you think about it, it don't matter who it is. Because if you're a people pleaser, you're a people pleaser. So if you're continuously pleasing these people, they're going to continue to get pleased by you.
Right.
What it took was for me to realize the same energy that I was putting into certain people, they weren't giving me that. And so
that's a harsh reality, right?
Very hard. Like that.
Man.
That hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
I cried about that a couple times. I was like, you know, I put way too much into my relationships with people that I care about, because everybody I don't care about. But if I care about you, I'm there. And I had to realize, like, if you're not gonna give me the same that I'm giving you, then it's time for me to reevaluate. So I went through that, and a lot of it I went through where he could tell, like, it took a toll on me. He was like, it's really bothering you. And it would, but if it was meant to be, we could have a conversation and come back. But if not, take a look.
And that was rough on me, because that was like, you don't want to tell somebody that you're being taken advantage of by somebody that you care about wholeheartedly. So you try to drop little gems like, yo, like, you can do this and you can do that and you can do A and you can do B and you shouldn't accept Z and X and Y. You know what I'm saying? But you, like, it gets hard when you gotta go through all 26 and you're only on 4. And I was just saying, you're like, woo! I told you. You know what I'm saying? That's when I told you become that cheap when you go 5 at a time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I told you. But I told you is a risky statement. Because it's not a help, it's not a warning, it's a jab.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, I told you. But if I done gave you 4, and then I give you a quick 5, you know what I'm saying? You should have took heed to that 4. So it's because now it's a toll on both of us. I don't like seeing you going through this, but you keep putting yourself through this
situation.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's
one thing that I can say though is I've always had this life, even before being a mom. It just heightened a little bit because I now include her schedule. But he is the first person that I wanted to be inclusive with. Because otherwise, it's like, oh, you're not into it? Cool, I'm doing my own thing. And all of the stuff that we do together, I very well could have done or tried to do alone. As far as like this podcast, and you know, I was already writing, like those are the things I could have done alone. But I made a choice to do it with him because we were each other's complement.
I love that.
And,
each other's complement.
Right, and we talked about that on an earlier blog. It's like, you know, when you get the person that you're supposed to be with, you know, it comes easy because there's different types of relationships. You know, what did I say, babe? I was like, you know, some people want to build their house over here, then have their partner build a house over here, and then they come together, you know, in the park and have a good time. But then the relationship that I want, like, I want to build a house with my partner so we can have a good time in the house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I don't want you to have your own fortress over there and I have my own fortress over there, because that's still being signal. You know what I'm saying? Because we have nothing to talk about now. I don't know what you do in your career. You know what I'm saying? I probably don't care about what you do in your career because I'm worried about my career over here. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm at Whit, it's like, yo, I like what you're talking about in the career that I'm talking about in my career. You know what I'm saying? So let's do it together. You know what I'm saying? We have a cohesive relationship that fits like this. You know what I'm saying? She want A, I want B. She want C, I want D. You know what I'm saying? And it continues to go like that. Like, one of the hardest things that I think that was going on in our relationships was co-parenting.
Mm.
And that's because she had a way of raising and I had a way of raising. But it came to the point to where I was like, I understand, but it's not the way you want to raise a child no more. Because we're raising it. So it's what we see out of the child. It's not what you see by yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Once you realize that, like, stuff got a lot easier. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just your child anymore. It's ours.
Same.
You know what I'm saying? So that person has to have some of me and some of you. You know what I'm saying? It's
Good
not just
stuff.
you.
Good stuff.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm still here. Okay, so I'll ask one more question. I'll just
You can ask all of them
Go
because I
ahead.
was just, Daddy said we keep going, so we going.
I think, okay, I'll ask two more. Okay, so Alshay, this one is for you.
Go ahead.
All right. I hope you don't mind me asking this.
Mm-hmm.
You've been married before.
Right, twice.
Really?
Really?
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, you that. Yeah.
So, okay. All right. So this is a good question for you.
Mhm.
Going through a divorce is like grieving a death. I'm sure.
No.
It's not for you. Okay. Well, let me just get straight to the question. Okay.
Because
So,
you can never see that death again.
boom. All right. So, what lesson did you learn?
Everything that made me great in the relationship that I am in now. The biggest lesson I stated earlier was loving someone enough to hurt. You know what I'm saying? Loving someone enough to tell the truth.
And be authentic.
Because it's easy to love someone enough to tell a lie, to not hurt. But when you love someone to tell the truth and be able to accept what they give you, you're 100%. And it builds on the trust.
I agree with that.
How can you not trust me? I gave you what you asked for or what you wanted, or, you know what I'm saying? It's no wonder that.
I have so much more respect for a person when they're honest.
And it's hard to be honest.
It is.
It's hard to be honest when it's a big truth that has to be said.
Right.
It's easy to be like, I don't want to lose this person. I'm just going, I'm going to spare their feelings. It's easy to spare feelings. But when you love the person enough not to spare their feelings, it's a different thing. And that's scary. That's the scary love. That's that unconditional. Can you love me through this? Can you love me through that? And that's the first time I've tried it is with Whitney J.
Okay.
We give each other hard truths. Yo. If you ask the question, you will get it. So with us, it's do I really care about what the answer is? I'm saying, like, it makes you think, like, how big is that question? You know what I'm saying? Is it a hypothetical question? Is it a what if question? Like, why think of hypotheticals when I'm living a dream already? You know what I'm saying? Let me stay in this dream because a hypothetical can knock you out of a dream real quick.
Real quick.
Now you're thinking about, what if that hypothetical happens? And what if this happened? What if that happened? No, don't worry about that. What are we doing tomorrow together? You know what I'm saying? Let's live in that moment.
So, why do you think it's so difficult for, I'll say men,
Mm-hmm.
because some women have a difficult time communicating, but why do you think it's so hard for a man to communicate his feelings to someone he cares about?
Because we weren't taught to be emotional. We're taught to be strong and, we could take this and we could take that, and, that's why most men react badly when certain things happen to them, because we've been strong for so long. Then when something really hit us and we break down, we don't know how to handle it. You know what I'm saying? So now we just got all this anger and fighting us that don't even belong at this situation, but we've been strong for so long. It's like, yo, I just need to let it all out. You know what I'm saying? So our breaking point is probably our breaking point for the past 10 years that don't even belong to this individual.
Person, right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you gonna get all this. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get all. It's like, look at it as, and this is a off the top of the head metaphor, a trash truck. You know what I'm saying? Pick up all these addresses, all these houses. You know, it's picking the trash up from all these houses, and then it dumps it in one spot. You know what I'm saying? But your house didn't contribute to all the other houses. Your trash is your trash.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's a big pile over here. You know what I'm saying? That this trash truck just dropped off. You know what I'm saying? So that's the same thing with a lot of men. I think we're in a transition with our men because, you know, a lot of women say that our men today are sensitive, you know, and then you look at the men of yesterday that were overbearing, strict, and hard. You know what I'm saying? So maybe our next generation will be that perfect blend.
Hopefully.
You know what I'm saying?
Hopefully.
I think it's up to the men of this generation to rear the men of the next generation to be comfortable with being emotional and expressing those things.
But a lot of men of this generation are hurting too. Just like the women. They're getting hurt. A lot of women are acting like men these days. So, I mean, you know, like you said, hopefully it does change in the next generation. But
So I'm going to ask you this because we talked about it. Have you made your list?
I did.
You want to share your list or is that
Well,
maybe not everything, but some
okay,
things.
I'll share some things.
When I talk about the list, let me give you history. Before I met Alshay, I made a very specific list down to height, skin tone, personality, communication, a lot of things that I included in my list. I had this list and I prayed over it daily because I was like, I'm sick of dating. So even when I met him, I was like, he's not going to be who he is today. I was like, it's been 18 months. Get this.
18 months like I'm a baby. How old is he? 18
Is he
months.
2?
He 18 months. Like what? How many months? 1 year old. He'll be 2 when?
Anywho, he got that stored up 18 months frustration. We handle that. Anywho, but so when people ask me like, how? That's what I did. Made a list. So I challenged my friend to make a list.
I did. I made a list. I'll say the top 3 things that are important to me. I am a very emotional person, although I don't show it all the time. But I'm an emotional Cancer. So I want to feel comfortable being emotional with my man. I want to make sure that I'm with someone who's honest. I hate liars. And someone who's loyal. You have to be loyal, trustworthy, and fine.
Matters. I don't care who say it don't matter. That
It
stuff
matters.
matters.
You gotta be Bruce Wayne.
Because the engine ain't gonna start.
And I mean, I am an outgoing person to a certain extent, so I would like someone I can share experiences with. You know, you only have a little time here. You want to.
So you made a list of the qualities that you want in a man.
Mm-hmm.
You ever think about, and I don't know if it'll work, of the qualities that you would accept in a man?
Yes, I think about it. I thought about it. Still working on that. No, but
and I'm
really,
talking about hard qualities.
But see,
like,
that's the thing. Once you
not
feel safe with a person, it's a lot easier for you to accept things that you weren't willing to accept in the past, or and then just being as a woman having them. Sometimes this is what I pray for. I pray for the ability to understand and see when someone is giving me what I need. Because sometimes we don't see that. We're blind to that, and we miss out on a good thing. So, but yeah.
Do you have one more question you want to ask?
I think that's it. You know. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
She ain't got one more. I
Now
answer.
you got a question for her?
Nah, I ain't got no question.
Okay. Well, this has been another episode of His and Hers Uncensored. We are here with Miss Olivia. I'm Whitney J. This is Alshay K. And we all at.
We all at His and Hers
All
TV.
at.
Let's get it. Alshay, Whitney, and Alshay.